mean, let's get right into the next one, right? Like Thomas Almeida. Wasn't this man supposed to be the next big thing? We think back to when he was like 22, 23 and just shining on the UFC stage against some of the best and brightest, right? But damage is damage. And I think that we're seeing that across the board now. If you're not defensive about your striking, it catches up to you. You're going to be a guy who's not even 30 years old that's starting to look the part of, some kind of a gatekeeper, maybe at that 10 to 15 ranking, maybe even lower. But I think that this is a fight where he gets to just prove some critics wrong. The size difference is very obvious. Our boy Sugar Shane, I mean, he keeps talking about the same thing, right? The whole lucky toe ligament thing with the loss. So he doesn't count his loss to Chito Vera as a real loss. But, a loss is a loss, injury or not. And I think that's what he means by it, because if he does say repetitively, if he felt like he lost the fight, he has no issues saying that he lost the fight because it's MMA, right? That's part of the game. But in this case, it seems like he's very much leaning with that. And Chito Vera is not the kind of guy that's going to shy away from a fight. But does he have to fight, Sean O'Malley again after putting on such a great show against Jose Aldo, despite losing? I mean, I think that's where you're kind of seeing where Chito Vera is at in his career. And, despite the injuries and stuff like that, I think O'Malley's getting an opportunity right now against a guy like Thomas Almeida, who I'm going to consider a name to most fight fans, and really showcase his skill. I think that if he's able to avoid some of those leg kicks and avoid some of the damage to the legs where clearly he is affected, he should be able to do some damage here. I think that Thomas Almeida's chin is widely known. I think that, Sugar Shane shows his striking is actually quite crisp and it's quite accurate. And so I think that's where I'm excited to see what they do from that front. I think if Thomas Almeida is able to mix it up, I want to see this fight go to the ground. I want to see him not get so destroyed on the feet and mix it up a little bit, because the one thing that we learned about his fight with Martinez was that, he does take the damage still, and he does still very much get hit. And I think that part of it is very scary. Over the course of his entire UFC career, he's still got a 64% striking defense. That's pretty good. At the same time, he's landing at a clip of 5.39 and getting hit at 4.69. When your chin is starting to get questionable, that's a problem, because a guy like Sugar Shane, who's hitting at 6.35 versus your 3.76 striking rate, I mean, that's a problem. That's going to be a very difficult fight. And even if Thomas Almeida can't find the range that he can actually start landing blows, Sugar Shane can piece him up for 3 rounds. I think that's where the odds dictate that. I don't even want to get into it that much. It's pretty drastic. It's the biggest favor on the card. I think that it's a problem where, if he's not able to get in close, he's not able to, move out of the way of these kicks. Because I don't think O'Malley's scared at all to throw these kicks. I think he's going to be able to really implement his game plan, because I don't think this man is taking a fight without that, because he definitely knows he wants to win. That's where this fight, in terms of distance fighting, things like that, Sugar Shane is coming in big. And I think that if Thomas Almeida isn't able to get in close and land some of his big blows, maybe attack the body, maybe attack those legs a little bit and then try to get a takedown and go on top, kind of do some Chito Vera business and not make it seem so lucky, or do it if you have to, because a win's a win. I think that's the way to do it. And, I'm a little surprised by these odds, but at the same time, Thomas Almeida's recent losses obviously are dictating a big part of his record. But I mean, let's be honest here. Garbrandt, Rivera, Font, Martinez. I mean, despite Martinez's last fight, I think this is a pretty amazing track record, even still for his age. And I'm excited to see what happens here, because I don't think these boys are going to be taking this fight to the ground at all. I think that if Almeida wants to, he might. But at the end of the day, I can see these boys just wanting to go for that, bonus and just rip each other apart. So stay tuned for that one. Both these guys are very, very skilled when it comes to the feet. Southpaw Almeida, I think he's gonna, try to get those big punches in. But let's look out for those legs, because if they're not wobbly, I think Sugar Shane's gonna do some damage tonight.